Will President-elect Donald Trump be sentenced for his crimes? It's a question that remains to be answered, as New York State Judge Juan Merchan considers the extraordinary circumstances of a former U.S. president and convicted felon, who also happens to be the incoming president. In May, Trump was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, to conceal payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels, to suppress a sex scandal ahead of his 2016 election. Trump's sentencing in the so-called hush money case has been delayed multiple times, and his election victory earlier this month casts further doubt on legal proceedings.
Really, the core of this is to find out whether or not Trump's sentencing is going to move forward at all. And that includes whether it will happen before he takes office, whether it will happen after he takes office, or whether his case will just be dismissed.
Trump's defense team is arguing that a landmark Supreme Court ruling in July grants him presidential immunity and that the case should be dismissed entirely. But Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is arguing that the jury arrived at a guilty verdict prior to the Supreme Court ruling and that Trump was not president at the time. In a letter to the judge, he indicated that prosecutors would oppose attempts to dismiss the case, but were open to delaying sentencing until after Trump's term in office.
If Juan Merchan decides that he agrees with the prosecutor's suggestion as a possibility, then he would engage in what might be termed an equitable stay of proceedings, in light of the extraordinary circumstances of the defendant becoming President of the United States, and he would effectively stay the case until 2029 after Donald Trump steps down from the presidency.
The hush money case isn't the only one the president-elect must contend with. Two federal cases brought forth by special counsel Jack Smith, one alleging mishandling of classified documents and another election interference, are reportedly being brought to a close, as a long-standing Department of Justice policy cites that sitting presidents cannot be charged with the crime. However, an election interference case in Georgia does not fall under federal jurisdiction.
Technically, the state of Georgia is free to proceed unencumbered by the DOJ policy. But can they? Is it even possible to expect that they would be able to proceed and expect the cooperation of Donald Trump, which would really require the cooperation of the White House, to proceed with a trial while the defendant is serving as President of the United States?
Unprecedented circumstances have made for uncharted legal territory. Trinh, VOA News, New York.